In Buddhism, the idea of not knowing is very important. It might sound strange at first. In most parts of our lives, we are taught that knowledge is power. People say that the more we know, the better our lives will be. We try to collect information, read books, and find answers to every question. But in Buddhism, there is a special wisdom in not knowing. Not knowing does not mean being ignorant or careless. It is not about turning away from learning or refusing to think. Instead, not knowing is a gentle way of letting go of our need to have every answer. When we accept that we do not know everything, our minds can become calm and open. We are not fighting reality or pretending to be experts. We are just honest about the limits of our understanding. This attitude brings us closer to the true nature of life. Life is always changing. Even the smartest person cannot know what will happen tomorrow. When we admit that we do not know everything, we can relax a little. We do not have to pretend. We do not have to hide our uncertainty. We can be more honest with ourselves and with others. In the Buddhist tradition, some of the greatest teachers have taught their students to remain open and humble. They say that when our cup is empty, it can be filled. If our mind is already full of ideas, there is no room for new insight. Not knowing helps us see the world with fresh eyes. It gives us space to wonder, to listen, and to learn. This is the beginning of the practice of not knowing. It is not a weakness. It is a gentle strength that allows us to face life as it is, with courage and honesty. Many of us spend our days looking for answers. From a young age, we are taught to ask questions and to find solutions. In school, at work, and even in our families, people respect those who have clear opinions and strong knowledge. We often believe that if we can just get the right answers, we will feel safe and in control. This desire for answers can shape our lives in many ways. Sometimes it helps us. It pushes us to learn new things, solve problems, and improve our lives. But at other times, this desire can make us feel restless and anxious. When we face a problem that has no simple solution, or when life surprises us with something new, we may feel uncomfortable or even afraid. We may try to fill every moment with information. We check our phones for news, search online for advice, and ask others what they think. If we do not have an answer, we might feel lost or unsure. In these moments, we forget that it is natural not to know everything. In Buddhism, we are reminded that the wish to have all the answers can become a trap. It can keep us from seeing things as they really are. When we are always searching for certainty, we may miss the beauty of things that cannot be explained. We may also miss the chance to enjoy the mystery of life. Sometimes, the questions themselves are more important than the answers. They help us grow. When we let go of the need for quick solutions, we can become more patient. We can start to accept life as a journey, not a test to be passed. This way, not knowing becomes a doorway to a deeper kind of wisdom. Uncertainty is something we all experience. No matter how hard we try, we cannot control everything in life. Plans change, people surprise us, and the world itself is always moving in unexpected ways. For many people, this uncertainty is a source of stress. We want to feel sure about our future, our health, and our relationships. We want to know what is coming next. But what if we could learn to welcome uncertainty instead of fighting it? In Buddhism, embracing uncertainty is seen as a powerful practice. When we stop trying to control everything, we give ourselves a chance to relax. Our hearts can open, and our minds can become more flexible. Accepting uncertainty does not mean giving up. It means living with a sense of openness. When we do not know what will happen, we can pay more attention to what is happening right now. We can appreciate the simple things, a smile from a friend, the sound of the wind, or the taste of our food. Life becomes richer when we are not always worried about the future. Some of the happiest moments in life come when we let go of the need to have everything planned. Surprises, small changes, and even mistakes can teach us something valuable. If we hold on too tightly to our ideas or our fears, we can miss these lessons. By embracing uncertainty, we become more adaptable. We learn to trust ourselves, even when we do not have all the answers. We discover that life is not about being perfect or always right. It is about being present, being open, and allowing things to unfold as they will. In this way, uncertainty can become a source of peace and strength. Throughout the long history of Buddhism, there have been many stories that teach about the value of not knowing. One well-known story comes from the life of the Buddha himself. When people came to him with big questions about life and death, the universe, or what happens after we die, the Buddha sometimes remained silent. He did not answer every question, even when people expected him to know everything. Instead, he encouraged them to experience life directly, not just through words and ideas. Another story is about a famous Zen master who was visited by a scholar. The scholar wanted to show how much he knew about Buddhism. As they sat together, the master poured tea into the scholar's cup. Even when the cup was full, the master kept pouring, and tea began to overflow. The scholar shouted, "It is full, no more will go in." The master smiled and said, "Like this cup, your mind is already full of your own opinions. How can I show you anything unless you first empty your cup?" Stories like these remind us that not knowing is not something to be ashamed of. It is actually the starting point for real understanding. When we admit that we do not have all the answers, we become ready to learn something new. The wisdom of Buddhism is not only found in words, but also in our openness to what we do not know. These ancient stories invite us to let go of our pride and to see the world with fresh eyes. Not knowing can make us humble, gentle, and willing to learn, no matter how much we already think we understand. In our everyday lives, we often search for clear answers. We want to know what to expect at work, how our friends feel about us, or what the weather will be tomorrow. Many things, though, remain mysterious, no matter how hard we try to understand them. The truth is, life itself is full of small mysteries. Sometimes we forget how beautiful it is not to have all the answers. For example, when we look at a sunset, we may not know why the sky is so colorful on that day. When we listen to music that moves our hearts, we cannot always explain why it makes us feel a certain way. Even the people we love can surprise us with their kindness or their thoughts. These moments are mysterious, and that is part of what makes them special. If we try to explain or control everything, we might lose our sense of wonder. We may stop noticing the beauty around us, but if we allow ourselves to appreciate the mystery, life becomes much richer. We can enjoy the taste of food without needing to know every ingredient. We can smile at a stranger without knowing their story. We can be curious, and that curiosity can make us feel more alive. The practice of not knowing helps us see that every day is full of opportunities to discover something new. When we accept the mysteries in our daily lives, we do not feel so heavy or worried. Instead, we feel lighter and more connected to the world. The beauty of mystery is always there, waiting for us to notice it. We only need to open our eyes and let ourselves be surprised. In our relationships with others, we often think we know what people will say or do. We believe we understand their feelings, their ideas, and even their reasons for acting a certain way. But the truth is, every person is unique and changing, just like life itself. If we always think we know everything about someone, we may stop listening or stop trying to understand them better. The practice of not knowing can bring new life to our relationships. When we meet someone with an open mind, we become more willing to listen deeply. We do not judge their words too quickly, and we do not assume we know what is in their hearts. Instead, we give them space to show us who they really are in each moment. This can make our connections with others feel more honest and alive. Sometimes, problems in relationships come from thinking we already know what the other person wants or feels. We might miss important things because we are not really paying attention. If we accept that we do not know everything, we can ask gentle questions and truly listen to the answers. We can be surprised and touched by things we never noticed before. Not knowing can also help us be less defensive. If someone disagrees with us, we do not have to argue or prove we are right. We can be curious instead of angry. We can learn from each other, even when we do not agree. In this way, not knowing creates space for understanding, respect, and even love. It helps us build stronger relationships, not by knowing everything, but by being open to discovery, again and again. Humility is a quality that is highly respected in many spiritual traditions, including Buddhism. Sometimes people think humility means putting yourself down or acting weak. But in Buddhism, humility is something different. It is about understanding our place in the world and being honest about what we do not know. When we practice humility, we recognize that we are always learning. No matter how much we study or how old we are, there is always more to discover. Life is so big, and our own experience is only a small part of it. This honest view keeps us from becoming too proud or stubborn. It helps us remember that there are many things we cannot control or explain. Humility allows us to be open to new ideas and new people. If we think we already know everything, we close ourselves off. But when we accept our own limits, we can listen and learn from others. We may find wisdom in unexpected places, a child's simple question, an old friend's story, or a stranger's kindness. Each moment becomes a chance to grow. In spiritual practice, humility helps us avoid the trap of thinking we have reached the end. Some people might believe they have learned all they need to know. But Buddhism teaches that the path never truly ends. There is always more to see, more to feel, and more to understand. When we are humble, we are patient with ourselves and others. Humility is not about making ourselves small. It is about making our hearts big enough to include everything, what we know and what we do not know. In this way, humility becomes a foundation for deep and meaningful spiritual practice. Everyone faces difficult times in life. We may lose someone we love, face illness, or experience changes that we did not expect. During these times, it is natural to want answers. We want to know why something happened, what we should do next, or how things will turn out. Not knowing in these moments can feel scary, but it can also offer us a new way to face our struggles. When we meet hard times with an open heart, we allow ourselves to feel what is truly happening. Instead of running away from pain or confusion, we stay present with whatever is there. We may not have answers, but we can be honest about our feelings. We can say, "I do not know what will happen, but I am here." This kind of openness is not weakness. It takes courage to face the unknown without trying to control or explain everything. We learn that it is okay to be uncertain, and that life will continue to change, whether we have all the answers or not. Sometimes just being open to not knowing can make us feel less alone. We realize that everyone faces times of uncertainty, and this connects us to others. By allowing ourselves to stay open, even in pain, we may also discover unexpected strength. We notice that we can get through hard times, step by step. Sometimes, solutions or comfort come when we least expect them. Facing difficulties with an open heart is not about ignoring problems. It is about being gentle with ourselves and trusting that we can live through uncertainty. With this attitude, we can move forward, even when the path ahead is unclear. Life is full of questions. Some are simple, like what we will eat for dinner, or which road we should take to get home. But other questions are much bigger and harder to answer. We may wonder about the meaning of our lives, the nature of happiness, or what happens after death. Sometimes we spend many years searching for answers to these deep questions. In Buddhism, there is an understanding that it is okay to live with questions. We do not have to solve every mystery right away. In fact, living with questions can make our lives richer and deeper. When we allow ourselves to sit with uncertainty, we give ourselves the chance to grow and explore. The questions themselves can become teachers. If we rush to find answers, we might accept ideas that are not really true or helpful for us. But if we are willing to stay with the questions, we can see life more clearly. We learn to listen, to observe, and to wait for wisdom to come in its own time. Some answers may come slowly, and some questions may never have clear answers at all. This is not a problem. It is simply part of being human. Learning to live with questions means trusting the process of life. We can still make choices and do our best, even when we do not know what will happen next. We do not need to be afraid of what we do not understand. Instead, we can be curious and open, enjoying the journey itself. In this way, not knowing is not something we have to fix. It is a way of being that allows us to experience the fullness of life, with all its wonder and possibility. As we come to the end of this talk, I hope these thoughts on not knowing have brought you a sense of calm and gentle strength. The practice of not knowing is not about ignoring life's challenges or giving up on understanding. Instead, it is a way to open our hearts and minds to the mystery and beauty that are always present. Each day gives us new questions and unexpected moments. By allowing ourselves to meet these moments without fear, we find new possibilities and a deeper connection to life. Sometimes, it is difficult to accept that we do not have all the answers. But when we allow space for mystery, life can become lighter and more joyful. We learn to listen, to wonder, and to accept the world as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. In this way, not knowing becomes a source of wisdom that continues to grow within us. It has been a true honor to share these reflections with you. I am deeply grateful to everyone who has taken the time to watch, leave a like, subscribe, or write a comment. Your kind support means so much. Thank you also to those who have offered super thanks and joined as members. Each gesture of support helps this community grow and allows us to continue sharing these teachings with others. Whether you are watching for the first time or have been with us for a while, please know that your presence is always valued here. May you find peace in not knowing, and may each day bring you new light and inspiration.